It's the end of 2024, the death of 2024.
Every pick here is an essential listening for this year. You need to hear every single one of these. Slimelord.
Chytridiomycosis, Relinquished.
We have been trying to get better about listening to one another's picks, and really, I was hooked immediately when you put this one in front of us, dude. It's wild to think that if I'm searching for existential answers to the most profound questions in life, I often turn to extreme music, particularly albums like this. Death metal has gone from caveman beat-up weakling to a philosophical lecture that Aristotle himself might be intrigued by.
I would say, like, far from the traditional death metal themes that are all over other releases this year, this album in particular explores those existential ponderings, offering a refreshing and unexpected take on the genre. Tracks like The Hissing Moor delve deeper into murky and exploratory realms, while Heroic Demise channels that wild progressive metal groove influence that we all love in death metal. Despite comparisons to bands like Morbid Angel, I can't believe how unique this band took their brand of death metal on this album. It's stellar.
This is a death doom record of epic proportions, roping in favorites from our slow bands, then tearing you limb from limb with those chaotic death metal spots. It's such a great push and pull, easily one of the best of this year.
Ukraine's Labyrinthus Stellarum ventures boldly into wild cosmic territory with their latest release, Vortex of the Worlds. While the programmed drums might be a deal breaker for some metal fans, they're utilized in a way that, in my opinion, absolutely works. Departing from typical Atmo Black formula, the band combines complex progressive guitar leads, unconventional rhythmic structures, and those godly, dreamy synths.
Stellar pick, dude.
Boo.
I love this album, and it is really quite easily at the top of the heap in the Atmo Black category for the year. Some extreme metal bands are tough to get into, but I found this to really be the opposite. It's paced very well, it doesn't get overly technical, and it's just one that wants you to listen again.
Yeah, I let it roll, I think, at least 5 or 6 times. Despite the lyrical themes of cosmic disorder, the music exudes energy and upliftment thanks to the outstanding keyboard and synth arrangements. At just 36 minutes, a lot of people would argue that it's not really an album, but I would argue that it's a concise record that stands out in a genre that's prone to excess. This is a killer take on Atmo Black, blending electronic experimentation with dreamlike wonder. Do not miss this album. It is fucking phenomenal.
Thou Umbilical. Dude, this record grabbed us by the throat and refused to let go, man. We have covered this record more than once on our channel. You coined it as one of the essential sludge metal albums that you must hear before you die, and dude, so warranted.
Interestingly, Umbilical features a more streamlined approach for the band, with no tracks exceeding more than 7 minutes. It's got more traditional song structures, and that absolutely paid off for Thou. Despite the shift, the album remains heavy as fuck, arguably their heaviest yet. Overall, Umbilical reflects Thou's evolution, though, blending grunge and sludge while maintaining their experimental edge. It's refreshing, introspective, and undeniably heavy.
These southern sludgesters have been around and on our radar for quite a bit, but I don't think they've ever made waves or an album like this. It is one of the few albums that delicately balances raw aggression with formulaic songwriting, all delivered at that crawling on your belly pace. It's one for the ages, dude. If for some reason you missed this one, literally stop this video right now.
Click.
And go check it out. We promise it'll be worth it.
"200 stab wounds. Prepare for surgery, folks, because Cleveland's death metal maniacs, 200 stab wounds, came back with a new record this year, Manual Manic Procedures, and it was fucking phenomenal. Following their brutal debut, Slave to the Scalpel, one of my favorite records when it came out, this sophomore effort promises a relentless assault of classic death metal and with a modern edge. That gruesome cover art is the perfect cherry on top for the brutal death metal within, and it sets the tone for the blood-soaked brutality you get on this album.
This is a grinder, man, and it really feels like you're putting your head into a meat grinder when you listen to it. Just one of the best death metal albums, like, in recent years. These guys have been on a tear since their inception, and for them to come out with an album this strong is really a demonstration of their staying power.
I would say death metal did a great job this year, especially in the old school death metal category, so I had a hard time picking something in this slot without dominating it with a particular style. Undeath came close, but 200 stab wounds inched a little bit ahead. The lead single, though, Hands of Eternity, dives into psychological torment of being trapped within your own mind. It showcases the band's very impressive blend of super heavy riffs, catchy melodies, and those groovy as hell wandering rhythms that I love in this band. This is a significant evolution for this band, a visceral listening experience for fans of old school gore-drenched death metal. Do not miss this album, it's incredible.
Devenial Verdict, Blessing of Despair. This was a toss-up for me for this spot between two sleeper hits, man. Bipolar Architecture, Job for a Cowboy, where they were both vying for this spot, but man, I had to give it to Blessing of Despair because as soon as I heard this, I knew I was in for something that just spoke to me as a guitar player and lover of slow, brooding music. This record has an upward trajectory with each song building on the former track.
Transcending obscurity, we've said it so many times on this channel. They know how to pick them. This album is fucking huge. Ashblind in 2022 was fantastic as well, but this new release refines their atmospheric and heavy tendencies even further, in my opinion. Atmospheric death metal is something that's quickly becoming a favorite subgenre of mine and in this channel. This band is absolutely partly responsible for that, and I understand why this took your spot for death metal.
This entire record just rides on the back of the guitar riffs that range from brutal chugs to melodious dissonance, never staying in one range for too long. The songs themselves have a profound sense of self-awareness as each kind of change in the riff or tempo jerks you back to life.
Melodious dissonance kind of hurts my brain to think about, but I know what you mean. It totally fits when you hear the record.
Yeah, spin this one if you haven't checked it out already.
Seer Bliss, Heavenly Down. Over 30 years in, I have to admit, this is my first run with Seer Bliss, and I'm so glad that I discovered them. The Hungarian black metalers haven't lost their touch, man. Their 9th album, Heavenly Down, is a feast for fans of atmospheric black metal with a heavy dose of synth. The opener, Infinite Grey, sets that standard of cosmic synths, giving way to blast beats, unique clear vocals, and all woven together with melodic guitars and keyboards. The band's signature trombone, yeah, you heard that right, adds a surprising, but also, you can't hear the music without it. It's so fucking good.
What a wicked album. I can't believe these guys have flown under our radar for so long, but we say this all the time. Oh, good for you for hearing that band for the first time. I wish I could do that again. And here's us with Seer Bliss. Really, I have a soft spot for good cinematic music, and the way that Seer Bliss kind of carefully navigates those grandiose passages with like deliberate extreme metal.
It's tough to maintain my attention in albums like these, and I'm happy to say that the whole record completely captivated me. Chasm is by far the heaviest track, featuring Blackened Fury before transforming into kind of an epic fantasy soundtrack with the return of the trombone and clean vocals. If you love bands like Summoning, this is definitely up your alley, dude. Heavenly Down is a satisfying journey for fans who enjoy a more atmospheric, melodic side to their black metal. This album's beautiful, tranquil, and the soundscapes are absolutely undeniable.
Counting Hours, The Wishing Tomb. We both knew as soon as we heard this record, dude. Their debut record definitely captured our attention, but this one captured our hearts. It is a stunning example of just staying the course and taking what works and putting your own flair on it.
As a fan of melancholic mellow doom, I was thrilled that the two guitarists of the now defunct band Rapture, he's got a tattoo, reunited to form Counting Hours. Now with their eagerly awaited follow-up record, The Wishing Tomb, the band delivers another dose of sadness and absolute despair. Timeless Ones, in particular, one of the opening tracks, shows the band's absolute mastery of their craft in melancholic doom.
The subgenre of melodic death doom is really starting to kind of hit that middle-age stagnation, but bands like Counting Hours have found a way to break that stalemate, showcasing a new coat of paint on an old ride. As a whole, the record is engaging as it is somber, giving a sad salute to music that is groovy as it is depressing. If you miss the mid-era Catatonia, Slumber, or Rapture vibes, these guys will not disappoint.
Kinship, this is probably my complete album of the year. This is a metal band that is so fucking special. I was absolutely in love with Access All Worlds when it dropped, and Kinship is just another example of this band completely killing it in the extreme metal sphere. This record is a powerful and unbelievably immersive journey through the depths of human nature. Aoten's ability to balance that intense aggression with intricate melodies is so remarkable.
What an awesome choice, and I applaud you for putting it as your top of the pick. When this one quietly dropped, I think we were both pretty psyched, and we were certainly not let down. This is another very accessible record, kind of tough to shoe them into one genre. It showcases everything that we love about high quality metal. The songwriting, the emotional authenticity, and the impressive sonic features, they're all here in spades.
The album's expansive soundscape featuring complex time signatures and layered compositions created a unique and highly captivating listening experience for me that just kept me coming back. For fans of extreme metal seeking something that goes beyond the typical formula, Kinship is an absolute must-listen for you. Please check this band out. Spread the word. They absolutely deserve it.
All right, gonna get controversial here with a non-metal pick, my only non-metal pick, but I argue that this is a heavy album.
It's heavy.
Nearly every year, like I said, I like to grab one or two like post-rock picks. They end up falling somewhere in one of my lists. This one stood out to me, both carrying the monthly prize and today's best of overall prize. This release showcases this Irish band's mastery of instrumentation and sonic layering, creating a truly immersive listening experience that may prove to be one of their best, and obviously it is being on this list. The delicate interplay between guitars, synths, and drums really creates a rich tapestry of sound that really never fails to impress me.
Like you said, not really a metal record. There's some heavy as fuck moments on this album. I've been a huge fan of this band for a long time, and this was easily one of my most anticipated records of 2024, so I was happy to say that it did not disappoint. This band can easily make you feel lost and completely okay with being gone for a while.
Oscillation, Embers, both particularly standout songs featuring mesmerizing, locked-in grooves that really just propel these songs forward with unrelenting energy. Fans of Russian Circles, If These Trees Could Talk, you will find much to appreciate in this amazing record.
Mother of Graves has returned with a sophomore album that surpasses their debut, surprise, in both scope and emotional intensity. The Periapt of Absence is a stunning blend of classic doom metal with modern melodic sensibilities, crafting that sonic tapestry that is both haunting and somehow uplifting. The album's production is a significant improvement over its predecessor, and it's one of the best albums of the year because of that.
I've got nothing but love for this band in the current American death doom sphere, not the Dungeons and Dragons monster, but the musical sphere. These guys really rule supreme alongside bands like Fires in the Distance. They've hit the ground running, with this being their second album in as many years. Rightfully, they are on Profound Lore Records, and these guys are just gaining well-deserved traction for sure.
Some of the best death growls I think I've heard in modern metal in general. The overall sound is just so well balanced and immersive. Highlights include the epic title track, The Haunting, A Scarlet Threnody, and the powerful Upon Burdened Hands. Mother of Graves has proven themselves to be an absolute force in the world of doom metal. This record is an absolute must listen for fans of sad, heavy, and slow as fuck doom music. What were your favorite metal albums from 2024? Drop them down in the comments. This was only a top 10 list. We probably missed some of the overall favorites of the year. It's a community. Be part of it. Drop your faves.
Go with the gods, Forge mates, because it is an astronaut.